Kia ora whānau, here is an edit out Owhiro Bay, round to Red Rocks. I've taken the little dive whip and I've been wanting to do this mission for a while. The weather was on, so Machu and I took the chance. Easy as launch there, so it's no dramas and you just pod around. It's quite cool just seeing the track and people boosting along there as there are quite a few divers out, and straight past the gate. We jumped in and the water was just beautiful. It was about 10 plus meters, and we were pretty stoked to get into our diving. Nice watching each other, see what they're up to, see if they found anything exciting. Early on I dropped just in the shallows. We were only in 5 odd meters of water and plugged a decent butterfish, so I was pretty keen to take some fish, but it was pretty much the only butterfish I saw all dive. So it turned into a cray dive. Here I dropped my gun just to keep the location. Nice long breathe up, and it was in that crack there where my gun was, so I decided to actually go to the start of the crack, and I was like, might as well work my way along the crack rather than just go where I know the crayfish is. And that paid off, because at the start of the crack I found this crayfish. Nice quick grab, pretty easy, and then I still had the coda in the other location. Give it a measure, make sure, get my eye in so I know what ones to kind of go for in the future. Chuck it in the float boat and killed it. So now I go back down to the first spot that I marked, and just have a look around. Oh, this is actually the spot that I just went to see if there's any other life in there, but nothing in there. Looked through the crack and could see the crayfish that I had marked initially. So I just went up for a breathe up and then made my way to them. He made it pretty easy for me, just coming out and sitting out on this rock, but I choked. I don't know, just too casual and got boosted. Tried to follow it in, but no deal. I always get complacent when crays look easy. I never actually punch for the tail, I just go to grab them, which results in lost crayfish. So the terrain was pretty cool. It's just this cray weed. Here I'm just waiting for the current to blow the weed away so I could try and find the crayfish easier, but it didn't really happen. So you just have to push through, trying to be gentle so you don't actually disrupt the crayfish. And then found it just parked up. A bit more aggressive this time and just punch through it. Stoked. Another cray in the bag, female this time. Now this is the biggest cray of my day. Pointing out, I was pretty shocked because I was in less than 2 meters of water. And this was swimming back to the boat, and I saw just this nice that circle there. You can see a dark spot, so always check dark spots when you see the cray weed. And there's a nice buck just sitting in there. Didn't want to miss this, so punched hard and had a nice firm grip on it. Check that it's not soft straight away, because that would be shattered dreams. Stoked. Nice big powerful cray. No need to measure that bad boy, it's straight in the float boat. Again, stoked. So I went back to show you guys, look, I was in 1.7 meters of water for 7 seconds to get that big buck. So you just need to look for crayfish. But in doing that, I saw another crayfish in the same hole. So result, drop down, and when I go to grab this crayfish I get the bunted doom from a crab, but lucky the cray had nowhere to go, so I was still able to get it. This crab plays the defense, but work my way around it, and a weird grab, just threw my arm in there, but another female. Felt pretty stink because that's probably the bucks misses that he didn't protect, but from me anyway, so never mind. Glassy day, beautiful viz. So good start. Now we move on to a different spot to get some power. And with the viz, you can spot power from the surface, which makes the diving pretty easy. Just kind of kicking around till you see some. Here I saw this one, popped it off, and then because I was down there, you actually see others. So popped a few off, and they're all nice power. And then on my way up, I stay live, having a look around, and then I see one more on the other side of the rock. Give them all a measure just to make sure, but the power in the spot are normally a really good size, so not a worry at all. In the float boat, didn't need many power, so there's no need to grab 10. This is the biggest of the lot. Legal sideways. Haven't done this too many times, so have to get that shell polished up. So 4 power and power diving was done.
Fucking lovely under there, bro.
Pretty lovely under there. So we thought it might be fishy here, closer to the gate, but it didn't seem that way. Found this nice big cave. It would be awesome to explore with a mate to give you a spot and a torch, because it goes back really deep, but I'm happy not to go in there and not risk anything. So a couple of small crayfish and right there, but not worth grabbing, but always a good sign. But carpite, they will live on. Here I was just following up this big crack, and I found a crayfish. I do a terrible job of it though, so following up the crack to not disturb it, and then I see it, and it picks me up. So I try to get close, and by the time when I launch, it's gone skis. It's just right at the edge of my reach, so I give it a good fight, but I probably should have called it in earlier, because then I still pulled on it and just pulled the antennas in a little bit of flesh, which is just doing damage for no reason. This is a terrible drop. I end up doing some spins down to this cray, and again, just complacent, just not too fast, so I just go in casual and get smoked. I was pretty happy with the 4 I got earlier, so for some reason I just started being a bit lazy and with my grabs, but carpite. Then we boost, watching people go over the gate, and nice easy cruise back. Kia ora tangaroa.